Hi, today we're going to make decor for our front door, Halloween style. Hi, I'm Myra with Boutique Paint. Thank you for joining me. I was thinking I wanted to make something that maybe I could either just put on my front door blank for Halloween, or I could put this in the center of a wreath and have it come through, or have it on the outside of the wreath. I'm not sure yet. We'll just play and see how this goes. So I have this round, and it's just got this from the craft store. So what I want to do is I want to kind of paint this yellows, and so I'm going to start with cake batter. I might do some summer crush. I might do queen bee, although that's a little dark, but you never know. And then I'm going to be using black velvet and white swan. Okay, so we're going to start out with cake batter, but first I'm just going to spray down the board a little bit. Because it is a unfinished board, it's going to really suck up the paint, and I'm not quite wanting it to do that yet because I want to kind of blend the colors. So I'm just going to kind of start out with a base coat of cake batter. All right, now I think I'm going to add a little bit of summer crush, but I don't want it over the entire thing. So I'm going to take another brush. This looked like it needed a little stirring up. So I'm just going to kind of put some lines in there. And then I'm going to switch to a brush. This is one of the DIY brushes. And we just want to kind of blend it in. And the lines are okay. It doesn't have to, you don't have to get rid of the lines completely. Just get it so that it's to a place that you like it. Feels like it needs a little something down here. Maybe a little bit more there. And then we can try a little queen bee and see if we like it. Just kind of missed it again real quick. Okay, that took out all of our orange. And I think I want a little bit more cake batter in there again. So you're just kind of playing it with it, and you're layering it until you get a look that you overall like. I'm just going to blot some more orange or summer crush. So the next part of what we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit of splattering on this before we add the stencil. So I'm going to take a brush like this, and I'm going to get it wet, and then I'm going to dip it in the black. Not a whole lot. And then get it wet again, and then I'm going to dab it, and then I'm just going to come and I'm just going to flick it. Just like that. And you don't have to do a whole bunch, and you don't have to just, you know, whatever feels good to you. If you don't like this, once you do it, paint over it. Start over. Just let it dry first. Okay, we're going to do the same thing with the white. I'm going to spray down the brush. I got a clean brush because I used the other brush and did it, and it came out kind of gray because the brush didn't get as clean as I thought it would. I'm going to do less white, just some little bits. This is a different brush, so it's not fleeing it quite as well as the other one did. There we go. All right, that looks pretty good. So next we're going to put the stencil, and we're using our own Halloween Elements stencil, and I'm just going to kind of eyeball where I want her on the board. And I already put stencil glue down, so I'm just going to, and she's all painted up already because I did a sample board. So I'm going to use a rounded stencil brush, and I'm just going to dip it into the black paint a little bit, and then I'm going to dab it onto a paper towel. That way I don't have too much paint on the brush. And you can always come back and grab a little bit more paint off the paper towel. That way you're not wasting. And I'm just kind of wiggling it in here because it's such a tight little spot right there. And I don't want to move the stencil around, even though it's glued, when it's got that big of a detail right there. Or that small of a detail, I guess, in this case. I don't want it to move at all. When you get to the wider areas, you can kind of pull the paint from the edge of the stencil into the center. Okay, now we're going to lift it up and see if there's any spots that we may want to touch up before we lift the entire thing up. We'll just take a little peek. It's looking pretty good. It does look like it would be good to just add a little bit of paint here. And you can always do touch up also once the stencil is lifted. Lift straight up, and there she is. I've dried this, and now I want to fill in the broom handle, and you don't have to do this part, but I just want to fill it in from here to here and here to here. I'm going to leave this part alone, and my stencil is dry and my witch is dry on the board, so I'm just going to line that up, and again with the stencil brush, just kind of get in there. Since that's wet, I'm just going to kind of hold it up. Line that up, same thing. And up. There we go. So I'm going to take this piece of ribbon. I'm just going to hot glue it to the back of this. And that way, if I choose to just hang it by itself, I can just hang it, or it might help also just hanging it in the wreath. And then I've got this orange ribbon. And since we have a little bit of that in there, I thought it would look good. It also has a little bit of the yellow, so it kind of goes nicely with that. And we're going to attempt to make a bow. I am not good at bows. I know there is all kinds of videos and whatnot on different platforms on how to do this. And I keep thinking I'll have the time to just sit with a thing of ribbon and play with it, but not as of yet. The nice thing about this ribbon is it's got a wire in it so that you can poof out the bow a little bit. And once again, I'm just going to use a little glue, hot glue. And I have a black, it's got leaves. It's a wreath for Halloween, and it's got black leaves. And I was thinking this would be super cute in the center of it. Now I'm just going to just find little spots to glue the tails of the bow down. I'm just going to fold that over and stick that to that. And then just a smidge there. I'm just kind of folding it and looking at it, seeing if I like it where it's at. So that is it for today. I think the hardest part of this project will be getting the glue stringies off of the board afterwards. If you have any questions about any of the products that I used in this video, you can go to our website at www.boutiquepaint.com. And thank you so much for joining me. Bye.